the Zach Taylor era begins in Cincinnati. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, the Bengals have a new man calling the shots. Zach Taylor, the second youngest coach in the entire league, as they head to Seattle to take on the oldest coach in the league, Pete Carroll of the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime with a look at the games in progress. But first, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by are the guys in the booth, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. So happy to be with you, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. And we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And there's no substitute for experience in this league. And what it usually leads to, a whole lot of confidence. Andy Dalton is sharp with where to go with the football now. I think he sees reads before they actually even happen. He can sense them now, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
This is Joe Mixon, 4th in the NFL in rushing last season. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people. Catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think that if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Check 4, check 4. Heavy. Over here.
To throw here, Dalton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A.J. Green, 70 yards. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And this is complete to Moore on the comebacker. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Flying 90. 52's the mic. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, quick slant, caught by Moore. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
What? 380.
57's the mic. In your face.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And Dixon has it. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Strong safety Sean Williams really bounced back from injuries in previous seasons to post one of the best years of his NFL career. 5 interceptions in 2018, led the league in interception return yards, provides great veteran leadership, and some real thump coming from his spot in the secondary.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now it's Carson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about where one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly, It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
This is Carson, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Here's Wilson. His pass caught at the 4. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Myers' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Throwing, Dalton. Got a man open, it's Ross. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
After all he's been through, I want to talk about Eric Berry, and it was really tough for any NFL fan to see him go down the opener in New England last year. But one thing we know about him, he's resilient. This is a man who's beat cancer to come back and play at an all-pro level. And why? He can cover in the deep zones. He drops down in the box in the run game, and he can blitz the quarterback. You name it, Eric Berry can do it.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So they'll get 5 on the dump off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Dalton, 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Boyd. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. But it'll be 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that will be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Throwing is Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They run the counter. It's Carson, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. From the gun, it's Wilson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Here we go.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
A gain of a yard. First down, Cincinnati.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44. There you go.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hands up. Lead.
Go.
368.
Check 26, check 26.
And now to the air, Dalton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Watch that quick. Watch
2 by 2. Move.
Me. I got motion there. Me. I got this.
Regular.
50, Mike 50. Mike 50. Here we go.
Go.
50's the Mike.
Snap came at 1. Now here's Dalton. And Eifert has it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Dalton here from the gun. He gets this one to Boyd. And he coughed it up. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll try to run with Carson. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44. Here you go. 2 left, 2. Move.
From the gun, Dalton points the target, and he has it over the middle. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And able to find Green. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Bengal first down on a 16-yard pickup there. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend.
Check motion, 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 motion. Go Mike 50, Mike 50.
Here you go. 93, 52, 93, 44.
1st and 10 for Dalton. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, 50, 50 the mic, 50 the mic. All day, every day.
Operating from the gun, Dalton. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Returnable for Lockett. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on any.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
We got him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Let's go.
To throw is Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. They'll try the left side. Carson. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It was Jaron Reed who got him down. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where 5 quarters couldn't decide a winner. This one ends in a tie. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home in U.S. Bank Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie, see what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Wilson now off the bootleg. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They run the counter. It's Carson. Had the nifty footwork, but only able to get it to his own 20. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Over the middle here to Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson now going to throw again. His throw incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target, and it's 3rd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and we will remain tied here in this 3rd quarter. The 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. Little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole that closed there quickly at the end. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
Check, 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 check.
Now the first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And down to the 36-yard line here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, Bernard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4.
Y'all playing the wrong football. Whip.
From the gun, Dalton. He's going to go for it all. And that is incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Let's go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. He was looking for John Ross that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Let's go, D. Switch.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
368.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Now he's hit. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
After the sack on 1st down, Dalton, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 3rd down, Dalton. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Let's go. Let's go.
Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the post. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Left side complete to Lockett. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Brown showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Man open left side is Brown. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. The Bengals getting set to go. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all in your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Check 37. Check. They go 368. 2 by 2. Move. Hands up.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. He's going to float this one deep right. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Cincinnati. 43 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3.
Mixon with a first down carry. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Hands up. 3.
50's the mark. I know he ain't got it. Check. Bang, 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 bang.
Hands up.
They'll run on first down. Bernard looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
Nixon will try the right side. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. On third down, Nixon. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And Bullock will put this one through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Shrugs him off. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Chris Carson trotting back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise? Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going. Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Geno Atkins got home that time. Throwing now is Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. And the Seahawks on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett in the final minute. And the Seahawks are within the extra point of taking the lead.
We all knew the situation. We're in the 4th quarter. Who's going to step up and make the big play? Well, we just saw it, didn't we? Took their shot, downfield, got it, and now they're in a great position to take the lead.
So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. So now Dalton and the Bengals down 17-16, a little under 50 seconds to go. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. Dalton wants to throw. And Green with a catch left side. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
You got nothing.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44. Here you go.
Check curls, check curls, check.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot. 368.
They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ross. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check 2 by 2. Move.
He's back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
44, 44. Here you go. Side.
He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Green. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Now the Bengals on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. A handoff to Mixon. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon with time running out. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
So now Dalton will lead the Bengals to the line as he'll come up and go for 2.
4 down. Hey, 96 is coming. We got Mike 96.
368. Hey, exit. There you go. We're good.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So now after the touchdown, Dalton will lead him up to go for 2.
Come on, let's go.
They'll let Mixon try and run it in. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the focus shifts to the Seahawks offense. Trailing by a touchdown. 20 seconds to go. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Wilson to throw. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. One last shot for Wilson. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for the Bengals, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.